Good morning. Isang mainit na pagbati. Today is a very important day for two reasons. One, this is the day when we have to commemorate the victims of Typhoon Hainan or Typhoon Yolanda. And second, today is the day where we could share our experiences with each other, especially our plans. Um, this morning, my learners, my students from organic agriculture course would try to share their action plan. There are local, regional, national, global initiatives in addressing problems in agriculture. And as we know, there are many problems in agriculture. Um, in our small way, we would like to address issues like sustainability, poverty, and hunger. This morning, our presentation will range from international or global to local initiatives, but all of these are very important. So I congratulate my students, my learners who are patient enough to be here this morning to share their plans. Um, we are also very lucky because we have four panelists here. Um, they are our panelists for today for the whole day. So my um, reminders to my students. You may present your action plan not only in 3 minutes, but as Larry said, you may present it in 5 minutes. So you have enough time. I could not imagine also if I would be the one presenting it in 3 minutes. So I gave you a reminder last night, the first minute on objectives and the needs in the community that you want to address. And second, the strategy and the structures that would be needed in operationalizing your concept. So, friends, our initiatives are based usually on local scenario or on the national scenario, whatever. These are important initiatives because together we should resolve the different issues in agriculture. So, without much ado, I think we are in for the first reporter who has just come from Turkey, from a conference of IFOAM, International Federation of Organic Agriculture, and then she would present her plan, which she would implement locally. So may I call on Maya?
Good morning. My name is Malaya. I am a new wave farmer. Um, what is a new wave farmer, you may ask? Uh, a new wave farmer is a new genre of farmers born in the 80s and slightly beyond. Recently, we have joined the Organic World Congress in Turkey, and it was just born out of some thought of why not, and thinking of bringing the new wave farmers objective globally. So, but we managed to get through the IFOAM Organic World Congress by individual capacity. And by individual capacity means we have to pay for our own flight because the pre-con was not budgeted for that. So with the help of our friends, we managed to get there, and we met the president of the iPhone. That's him. It's Andre Lo. He was very supportive with and very happy with what is going on here in the Philippines and the rise of the new generation of farmers. So we really pushed through in going there because the Organic World Congress happens only once in 3 years. So I was thinking that it's a good way to start and then probably go back there in 3 years and show them what we have done. And that's Paulo. He's 25 years old and he quit his job to go full time on organic farming. I, on the other hand, had 15 years of employment, and I don't know what happened to that 15 years. So, in the next 15 years, I'm putting all of my effort to organic farming and see what change could I do because I really don't know what happened previous 15 years. So, this is the start of the 15 years, my plan. Um, this is actually a scenario from Quezon. Quezon is one of my favorite provinces in the country because it's very, very rich in nature and there is a lot of potential in the land and a lot of things. This is actually this was just recently happened in on the November. It's a Saturday. It's vacation, so it's an idle time for the girls. But let us separate them. The ages are from 25 to 30, all young mothers. So I separate them. They have their own backyards. See, that's very, very that too. And there are not just three of them, there are many. So my title is New Wave Farmers, Young Mothers Edition, empowering young women farmers as mainstream economic actors. The objective is to improve economic status and well-being of young mothers through backyard organic farming. Concerns on productivity, idle land, self-esteem, food security, wellness. Expected results, increase in income, self-esteem, self-sustaining families, healthy lifestyle, growing safe food, and sharing advocacy. Progress indicators, care for the environment, healthy lifestyle, infrastructure development, improved pastime, leisure, sustainability, impact, multiple effect. So for the activities, I'm thinking of first gathering data and collaboration with Masipag group of farmers and provision of trainings, progress supervision, promotion of market, additional livelihood like goat rearing and trading. Timetable, 6 months, January to June 2015, although I'm already starting my data collection. So January is the continuation of data collection, and then February, training on organic farming, land prep, March, sowing, planting, April, May, marketing and harvest, June, progress report. Inputs, capacity building costs, transport, small office hub, seeds, food for meetings. Oh, by the way, iPhone, I got connected to Osgata. Osgata is Organic Seed Growers and Trade Association, and I'm actually exchanging emails now. New Wave Farmers will be a future organic seed supplier, and that's it. I hope that I squeezed it in 3 minutes. By the way, I have the link of the Osgata Organic Seed Growers and Trade Association. It's protecting organic seed integrity, the Organic Farmers Handbook to GE avoidance and testing. So I'll just pass it on and you copy the link and then you can all download it.
Thank you very much, Maya. I forgot to introduce the members of the panel who would ask questions to presenters. They are the following. Mr. O.J. Gomez, an expert on native animal production. Uh, Mr. Javes Flores, the second, uh, on the right. And then on his right is Mr. Brian Bilen. And the fourth one is my boss, Mrs. Bernie Lucero. Thank you very much. So I think the panelists are ready with their questions, but I forgot to give a simple background of what we learned from the course. We started with soil rehabilitation, how we could convert the soil from chemical to organic mode. The second is how to grow plants. That's why Maya mentioned about the source of organic seeds, which is very, very important. And then the choice of native animals for organic animal production. And then the fourth is marketing, where the networking and other initiatives are needed. So without much ado, I would like to call on the panelists to ask questions. Maya, could you stay here so that you could answer their questions? Thank you.
I have to mention that one of the panelists is the founder of New Wave Farmers. It's our father, Jabez Flores, is here.
Hello, good morning. Question lang. Ilan sila dun sa group?
Sila sa yung na-meet ko, 6 pa lang.
6. Okay. Do you plan to recruit more or?
Yes. And they
Ah.
and they are talking to their friends too.
Aha. I thought kasi parang you would just stick with 6, tas develop them. Yun pala, you recruit more tapos ongoing
Yes.
ang training.
Yeah.
Okay. So ano yung, how many do you aspire to convert, evangelize?
Madami daw sila eh. So, pero as many as we could accommodate.
Okay, so yung commitment din ng masipag is clear.
Yes.
Yes, okay, that's good. Okay. Thank you.
Yung ano nga, first off, congratulations yun for being for representing the Philippines doon sa Organic Congress. Um, Actually, hindi siya masyado questions eh. It's more on doon sa Quezon yung masipag naka-base. Do you plan to expand? Like, for example, outside Quezon also?
I actually plan to expand, but Quezon will be my test run.
Tapos, primarily, ang produce nila ay mga green?
But yeah, leafy veggies. Just what we do here.
Ayun. So, maganda siyang initiative. Tapos hopefully itong 6 maging mga trainers mo in the future para when
Right.
you plan to expand, they can help you out then yun
Right.
sa initiative mo.
Hello, good morning. I think it would be better if you also link with the government of the municipal office of the agriculturists.
Let's see. Kasi medyo ano ko nang ini-include ang ano eh.
Hindi, we cannot go because Quezon is one of the first provinces that's directly supporting organic farmers. So maybe they can assist you with the technical and other aspects because Masipag is also another group and they have other commitments also. It's just that maybe they could help and maybe you could include and we should
Okay.
not exclude the government in these efforts.
Ay, Tayabas ba yan?
Yeah.
Tayabas. Okay. May kakilala tayo dyan. Kilala na ng LGU ang UPLB dyan. So, kung graduate ka pa ng OA, kilala natin yung mga tao dun sa office. Kasi meron na tayong project na stinart dyan 2007. So, tama nga si OJ. We can get additional assistance from them. Kasi mas developed sila kaysa dito sa Laguna. Kumbaga ready to support yan, mas willing sila. Plus meron tayong Tayabas Organic Product Center or TAPSI na malapit lang din sa munisipyo. I think pag nakipag-link yung project mo sa association doon, mas makaka-recruit tayo ng mas madami.
Okay.
Ang magandang consultant si Doc Best tsaka si Doc Edna. Kasi marami na tayong na-train doon sa part na yun. Yup.
Ilasan sila.
Ah,
Ilasan at
meron
saka
din sa
Masin.
Ilasan. Meron din. Familiar yung places na yun.
Good morning. I think I'm not supposed to react on organic agriculture, am I? But just the same, I will have some thoughts about the presentation of Maya. There's a good friend of mine who is one of the management experts we have in the Philippines. He always says whenever there will be a review or evaluation of projects, he will always start with the road to hell is paved with good intentions. What do I mean by this? There will be a lot of challenges, Maya. But the initial, I think, challenge will be the groundwork phase, wherein it's very critical that you are able to communicate with the women. No? Though small their number is, you have a core group. Wherein I think you have to discern between the needs and wants of the women. Um, Always, people will say we have the technology, we have the connections, we have the linkages, but we fail to really hear what the people want, what the young women aspire for, or what do they really need. Because there is a big difference between needs and wants. And when you say need, yung pangangailangan nila as young women, anong itatanim nila, anong appropriate, you still have to dig deeper into the felt and the real need as differentiated from the perceived need. Tayo, outsiders, we perceive that it should be this way. But once you are there, you are confronted with other issues, and some of the issues primarily doesn't concern with the technology, but the culture. So I think this is the most critical phase that you will first be concerned about. There are cultural differences when it comes to plants that they want to tilt or to cultivate, and there will be differences when it comes to handling handling relationships, something like that. So I think you should also stress that cultural part and the definition of what really are their needs and what really are their wants.
Thank you po.
Add ko lang kasi currently may experience din ako sa ganyan, yung mga women's farmers. Tama si ma'am. You have to consider, may role ba yung husbands nila? For example, kasi based sa personal experience, meron minsan pag ginagabi yung asawa, na babae, dahil sa farm, nagwawala yung asawa na lalaki. So siguro pati yung mga ganon. Tapos tama rin sa motivation. Meron kasi na sometimes sasabihin mo sa kanila na it would depend on how productive yung cropping area nyo, doon sa kikitain nila. Pero minsan ang gusto pala nila daily wage compared sa ano. So tama si ma'am, marami siya talagang iba't ibang aspects na titingnan. Oo.
Thank you for that support. I've been reading the management expert Drucker. No, he's a classic, but he always stressed on time management. We mothers, I'm not a young mother anymore, but I am really confronted with the routine as a mother. You cook for your children, for them to take a bus, etc. So I think that's also one of the things you should take into consideration: the time management of the young mothers.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Maya. Another thing that I forgot, we are viewed worldwide, so please do not forget to face the camera so that our faces would be seen clearly. Our next presenter. Yes. Done?
Hi, good morning. I'm Daniel Richard. I'm taking up organic agriculture here in OU. Morning. Ikaw, eh? Okay, so some of you may have a clue where my topic would lead to, but I will just, hindi ko pababayaan yun. I will explain as much as possible in this short time. Okay, one word, two different meanings. If you look at Tagalog, English Tagalog dictionary, but I'm next. If you look at the Tagalog English dictionary, siga, it's to start a bonfire or to build a bonfire. There's also another term sa siga called tough guy. Yun, mga takot-takot dun sa siga na yun. Ayaw dumalo, mga ganong klaseng tao. If you still don't understand what I'm trying to say, and kailangan pa ng visual representation, ayan, may nagsisiga sa likod, may siga sa harap. So yan yun. Okay. So right now, okay, may nagsisiga. So the topic right now is, I want to prevent backyard burning. Okay, yung mga nakikita natin sa mga subdivision, mga community, they burn their trash, mga, mga waste. But why do they do it? How do they do it? Ano may sinusunod nila? Ano ba yung, ang baho-baho, ang sakit sa ilong, sakit sa lungs? Ano ba yung sinusunod nila? So, common thing na sinisiga nila, tama ba yung pagtagalog ko? The common thing na they burn is, you can be found under this tree. Dried leaves. Yan yung unang napapansin ko. Next, mga leftover, mga biodegradables, mga pwede sunugin. And to some extent, mga construction leftovers, tapos umabot sa mga damaged materials from the recent storm, styrofoam, mga uncollected trash. Okay? Sometimes, may mga cases in our subdivision na the garbage collector will collect trash in the middle of the night, the next morning, they do more mess than just collecting. So, why did they do it? They say it's the easiest way to get rid of trash. For example, it's a driveway. There's so many leaves, I want to clean it off. Pag nilagyan mo sa tabi, okay, it's out of the malinis na driveway, pero nakikita mo, ang pangit tignan. You burn them so that you can park your BMW on the driveway, in the garage. Yay, we're getting rid of trash. We're burning them. Kung may uncollected basura sa inyo sa bahay, let's burn them. We're helping the environment. Yay. No, we're not. Sinudog mo na yung basura mo, pero look at smell the air that you breathe. Diba? I believe that's not the right way to get rid of trash. So how do we do it? How can we prevent people burning their trash? Dried leaves, mga ganun bagay. Well, right now, so dito na magsisimula. We have to look at the current status dun sa nangyayari na yon. If you have a window over there on that area, makikita nyo Mount Makiling. And somewhere between Picard, Art Center, Boy Scouts, and UPLB campus, in the middle, there's a dump site. Okay? Sa dump site na yun, may facility sila to bring recycled material, mga trash all over Los Baños. For the biodegradables, leaves, mga dried leaves, they have a very, very big compost pit. By the way, these are the information that I got from the municipality of Los Baños. They have a compost pit there for biodegradables and dried leaves. And then the product that they, yung output doon ng compost ay binibenta under Department of Agriculture for minimum of 20 pesos. Wow, bibili ako doon. But the problem over there is yung garbage collectors' schedules are inconsistent. So meaning, bigla na lang sila kukuha, or minsan, if you prepare to bring out the trash, they're not gonna collect it. And another problem that we see here is dump site is for the whole town of Los Baños, okay? And then, as I said here, there are no small-scale waste management within the community. I'll explain that more because this is where my plan comes in, okay? Okay? Another status is may ordinance. There's an ordinance. I have a copy over here obtained from the municipality. I went there. So it says here, prohibiting the burning of garbage in public places. Basically, it's not just in public places. Kahit sa private area. If you see a smoke, kung naamoy mo, trace it, you'll find the person. And then there's a penalty of 500 of first offense. And then, pag nahuli ka ulit, 2,000 at saka imprisonment. Look at that, 6 months. Well, kung ako yun, if I cannot afford such money, then I rather not. And yet the problem over here is people still do it. Okay? Sa biyahe, you can see there are people burning. Why? Because it's not implemented. Right? Kasi it says, sabi yung nakausap ko, and unfortunately I forgot her name because she did not introduce herself. If there's money involved, you have to have 3 public hearings. What I have over here, 2 minutes ng meeting nila, if you want to read it, it's just the first reading. So, what are we gonna do? Are we just gonna wait for the ordinance? I think not. This is my plan, okay? I want to focus this here in Los Baños, and then my goal is we influence other towns like Bae, Calamba, San Pablo, etc. And I want to focus this plan within the subdivision that I live in, Umali. Yan. Idea number 1. That's my house, okay? And that's where my garden is. So basically, I'm just encouraging anyone who has a backyard and backyard farming to do the same. All right, that's my house. That's the garden over there. It's 120 square meters. Over here, there's a caretaker who lives. They raise ducks, chickens, and dogs. Nagbabantay. And over here, right now, may construction. Oh, by the way, this is the outdated satellite picture of our area. Kaya, ayan. And over here, yung hindi kita sa picture, is quarters area. All right? So this is what I did. Even before I enrolled here in this course, I already have a garden. Okay? This is what you see. It's over there and large. This is my earlier plan. So, one day, the caretaker and in construction, they started the fire. They were burning whatever they have to burn. And I told them, oh, please don't do it. Wag na, hindi, Tagalog syempre. Wag na magsiga kasi sakit kakasakit yung mami ko, hindi ka, etc. So next obvious question is, ano gagawin namin sa mga sisigayin namin? This is what I did. If you have a garden, you can do this. I made a place or area in our garden where they can throw their, let's say, dried leaves. Okay? I told them to put it there, here, and there. That's what I did. So right now, hindi na sila nagsisiga, almost going 3 months. They're not burning their trash. But what if sobrang layo? Okay? What if more than 250 meters? Kung mas malayo nilalakad ng nagsisiga, dyan na itapon. It's much nearer. Pero paano kung wala talaga? What if it's more than 500 meters? That's my house over there. You cannot expect someone from here to walk all the way there to throw yung mga dried leaves. So what did I do? Idea number 2. This this idea is adapted from Japan, where we stayed. I was too young to remember, so I asked my mom for information. Okay, I hope you bear on with me this one kasi it's a little bit confusing and medyo bago to eh. All right, this one we have to build a small scale community waste management facility. What do I mean by this? We will eliminate yung nagko-collect ng garbage from house to house to house. Okay? Again, we have to coordinate with barangay about this plan. The people will actually bring the garbage, mga dried leaves, etc., to this small-scale community waste management system. Haba kasi. So they actually bring it there. And then on those facility, the mga workers, they will do whatever they have to do to sort non-biodegradable to biodegradable. They will build a compost pit. And doon sila, they're gonna work over there. Okay? And this is just a suggestion. Kasi in our subdivision, madaming open lot. So if you convince the private landowners of that area, they have to give something, yung mga landowners, they have to give something back to the community. And by doing that, they can allow this place as a facility to manage waste. This is also to eliminate the problem dun sa dump sites sa Makiling. Okay? Kasi all the trash pupunta dun sa taas. Pero parang hindi na monitor ang waste around the small subdivisions. So if there are trash na, kunwari, teka, it's a bit confusing. Teka. Okay, pag kunwari, na-overflow na yung mga number of garbage in this facility, yun ay idadala dun sa dump site. Somehow nalilesen yung number of trash na dinadala sa taas. Diba? You can ask me questions later. Okay. For example, this is one of the open area dun sa subdivision. This is just beside the barangay hall ng Batong Malaki sa Umali subdivision. So if you can fix this so that people can work there for their community waste, it doesn't have to be beautiful kasi my garden has only fence and mga halaman na nakatanim sa paligid. Ayan. This is in front of the Los Baños National High School. Ayan. I believe this lot is privately owned. Okay, so I hope the landowner will be generous enough to give something back to the community. At the same time, nakakatulong ka pa rin for the community, di ba? And this is another open lot on the same road from Raymundo. Pero there's a challenge over there. The challenge over there is the mindset ng mga tao. Okay? Sabihin mo sa kanila na don't do this. Huwag ka magsiga. Kasi masakit sa, it's bad for the environment, it's bad for the health. And then you come up with all these solutions for them to stop doing it. For example, this happened last month. I was on my way out, minding my own business, and then suddenly, paglabas ko, I saw a towering fire. Puno, nasusunog. Okay? Kumakalat yung apoy, umabot na sa electrical wire. Sabi ko sa sarili ko, normal ba to? It's not. Okay, before the firefighters arrive, I went to that place and I can see, imagine mo naman, sinisigan nila ganyang kataas. Okay? So obviously, may risk. So wala naman nasaktan. No one got hurt. Apart from the trees and the electrical wires. 2 weeks later, they did it again. So how will you challenge these people? How will you convince them not to do it? Because these people, they won't do something unless they benefit from it. Or sometimes, they refuse to learn new things. Oh, wala na akong oras para mag-basketball. Mga ganun, mga ganung klaseng tao. Or they have other issues. We don't know. So, my idea number 3, we give jobs to these people dun sa community management, community waste management facility. You give people jobs who are, itong mga tina-target kong mga tao is, first thing na naisip ko is mga out-of-school youth, parents, teacher associations of schools around Los Baños, people at daycare center, okay? Participants after the morning routine exercise. Kasi meron palang mga tao na nagpa-participate sa morning exercise, and then after that, wala na silang ginagawa. So if they can dedicate, let's say, 1 hour and a half their day just learning about how to manage waste or mga para hindi sila magsiga, that will be good, di ba? And of course, those who are willing to learn are mostly welcome. By this, we can also share them yung importance ng organic agriculture, and then we can pass on to these people. Okay ba kayo? Okay ba? Okay. So in conclusion, it all parang naisip ko, it all goes back to the basic of garbage segregation. Kaya ako personally, I have a hard time thinking about it because when I arrived here, parang we were not taught how to do it properly. Yeah, biodegradable, non-biodegradable. But what can you do about it? We never had that lesson. And then I would like to also add, because of this small, it's a major issue, pagsisiga. But dahil doon, it escalated into bigger issues, community issues, environmental issues. We have to learn, whatever we are learning in organic agriculture should be translated for kids as young as kindergarten, elementary school. Kasi I believe organic agriculture should be taught to kids just like teaching them how to read and write. Naintindihan nyo? Because it's overwhelming. And then because of that, we can just imagine a generation of kids na environmental oriented rather than money oriented. Sure, money is important, but you have to, I'm not saying living in a city is bad, but if you're having second thoughts on what you're doing, well, you have to go back to basics. So I hope I explained everything as fast as possible. Should they ask questions? May na-miss out ba ako? Yun. Questions? Oh God, ito na.
Hello.
Oh my
Good
God.
morning.
Yes.
I had the same situation as you had like 4 years ago. Everybody was burning in front of our vacant lots. So what I did was lead by example. I simply told them that there's a communal organic material compost site, and everybody followed suit. You just need to remind them once in a while. It's doable and good, very good.
Gusto ko yung the last part you mentioned, organic agriculture or farming as a basic literacy, like reading
Yes.
and writing.
Yes.
So yeah, it's good na we focus on that sa early development ng children. No? So para we give them a new picture of the future, not one with the flying cars and tall buildings. So at an early age, we give them that picture na agad so they will strive for it. For your project, I think you are blessed with this awareness. I think it's a blessing and a curse to be this aware of the situation. So it's a blessing kasi you understand the whole thing, how segregation or segregating can help the environment. It's a curse kasi you have to teach that to other people and in your immediate community, which is Umali subdivision, which is a small subdivision naman, kaya naman i-handle. So I think the next step for you para mag-take fruit yung project mo this year or next year, 2015, wag muna this year, magbakasyon ka muna.
Okay.
2014. Maybe, yeah, just, kasi you just finished the course, di ba? So, realistically, start on January 2015, and by the end of the year, expect change. But you have to do a step-by-step na program, yung one with the details, no? Parang I think, ang kailangan mo nang kausapin is your barangay captain. Hindi kayo close, pero kailangan yung maging close.
And I have a personal issue with those
Yeah,
people.
I know. Pas yung personal issues, you have to address that muna. Kasi you'll need coordination
Yes.
for this one, no? So you cannot do this on your own. You need people, and magbigay ka ng deadline for yourself.
Yes.
So para hindi tayo magpapaliban, parang next week na lang, next month na lang. So you can improve on your presentation, but for yourself na lang, kung gusto mo ibigay kay Sir Ray, ito yung plano ko. By this date, you will see change. Parang ganun. Kasi it will push you to make expectations for yourself. Pero yung advocacy, wala akong question for that. It's good, but how to translate that into action, yun ang challenge
Yun yung
natin.
challenge.
Okay.
Ayun. You have a very good plan, no? Kasi it's addressing talaga one of the pressing problems that actually not only Los Baños has, the whole country has that problem. One time, I joined one of the study tours in Las Piñas, and I think Las Piñas has one of the more organized na parang similar sa plan mo. They have facilities talaga. Pero the difference lang is in Las Piñas kasi malaki talaga yung support ng government. So meron silang mga high-tech facilities there. Tapos I also agree with your point na yung we have to start them young, yung mga kids, no? So kahit saan ako magpunta, yun din yung nakikitang problem na paano kasi ngayon yung mindset ganun na ang kailangan natin makita is how we can change people's mindsets regarding sa garbage, regarding sa method of farming. And ang parati ko talagang pinupush is yung sa values formation.
Sorry.
Sa values formation. So, medyo mahirap siya. Hindi ko pa rin alam exactly how we can address pagdating sa values formation. But sabi ni Jabez, you partner with your barangay, even if you're not close. Pero siguro mas ma-approach din natin yung mga schools, mga public schools around. Kasi based on experience, receptive naman sila sa ganyang mga problems. So si OJ mentioned na dun sa case niya, all that was needed was to remind the people that there's something set up para makapag recycle siguro ng mga garbage. So ayun, from there pag na-execute mo ng maayos, pwede siya maging model that can be copied to everywhere, anywhere else in the Philippines. So congratulations. That's a good plan.
Gusto ko lang pala i-share. May gardener kami. Okay? Hindi, may gardener kami. And then he doesn't just work dun sa house namin. So nakakontrata din siya sa mga ibang houses around our subdivision. And then he voluntarily brings yung trash namin and the houses neighboring because may lupa siya na binabantayan eh. Yung lupa na tinitira niya has mahogany, nara, raising it. And then in their compound, ng gardener, they have a compost bin and there's an area for those recycling stuff. So, we don't bring out, siya mismo kumukuha. Siya nag-volunteer, okay? Sige. And then, ano ba ulit sasabihin ko? We only bring out trash parang once a week, Saturday or Thursday. Yeah. Hindi, in our case, I don't know sa ibang, hindi ko pinapanood. And then it's just a small bin na doon na yung biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Yun.
Yeah. Very interesting. It's a very common experience, very relevant. Everybody experience these things. No? Very close to our hearts. Yung pagsisiga, pagtulog mo sa gabi, may maaamoy ka. One time, ganyan nangyari sa amin ni Ray. No? Tutulog, mga 2:00 nagigising siya at hinahanap yung naaamoy na plastic. No? The smell, the strong smell of the plastic. And I have to call up the neighbor to tell them na parang may nagsisiga sa banda sa kanila. But our neighbor, Mrs. Rosario, entertained that call. Why? Because in our subdivision, that is one of our major projects. The consciousness on these things is quite high that I think, Daniel, you have to get exposed to our subdivision in Pleasant Village because we really have a program, a project on how to eliminate this kind of problem. You know? We divided the whole subdivision into zones. Since non-biodegradable are the ones being collected only by the truck, no? And all biodegradable remains with you. So we have subdivided the areas, the vacant areas, into different zones. So those who are proximate to that area will bring their stuff there. And then there is this, because I think this issue is also an issue of governance. So the barangay captain one time, because of that very big problem, there are those who don't segregate their waste, was the one who drove the garbage truck. So he intentionally did not get the non-biodegradable waste. So it was left rotten there. So there are some creative and the political will is there, no? So that the people will be able to be disciplined about it. It requires quite creative solutions for this. You think big, but I think you have to start small. Okay. So expanding your horizons in terms of looking at other subdivisions who have also this kind of projects and face also and challenge with this kind of problem. Secondly, I think very critical here is to start a core group. Okay. Uh, the, the core group can be a multi-sectoral one, no? And I think it is a core group that is quite a simple gathering that will start the ball rolling. Uh, I don't know how you will do it, but I think you have to look into the research more on the profile of the community, of your immediate community. How many children in schools, how many teachers, how many professionals. And I think through them, through this kind of sharing, you will be able to take it from them again. How do they think of this problem? Start always with that, as I told Maya. Always look at the perspective that these people have before we are able to come up really with a grand plan on how to do things. We have to do this with that participatory intention. That's all. But I congratulate you and Maya for this two plans. For Maya, it's think globally, act locally. And for Daniel, it is think big and act small.
Yeah. Kaya medyo galit ako kasi this year, hindi, yeah, kasi there was last summer kasi my mother almost died kasi she got sick and then while she was recovering, may nagsiga and that deteriorated her health. So yeah, this is a big issue. Okay, pwede na umalis. Okay.
Thank you very much, Dan. In our place, we have the Pleasant Village Homeowners Association, and the Barangay Council is very glad that we have a functional organization because our homeowners, the board members, meet every month without absent. So all the issues within the subdivision are tackled, and then there's a way of communicating this either through the social media or by phone brigade. And most of our issues, not only garbage, but securities concerns are tackled. So, Dan, remember what I told you last night and last week. Be sure that you are familiar with the structure that you'll be working on. And Bernie has just mentioned the importance of structure. Of course, you are bothered by this personal experience that you have had with the barangay captain. But remember, he could be your partner to effectively implement the necessary ordinance in the subdivision. Think about it. So now we could go to our third reporter, learner, presenter, who would be sharing his her plan on gardening. Let's give her a big hand.
Good morning. I'm Ada Angeles from Professor Ray's OA class. I'm currently working as a tax lawyer in a universal bank in Makati. So, why on earth would a tax and bank lawyer, want to learn organic agriculture? Or, in the words of my friends, Ada, ano na naman yung trip mo? So, I understand that in UP we're trained to look at the greater good, to always think about contributing to our community. But sometimes we get inspired to move or to act when the problems or issues hit close to home. So when my mom was just recovering from cancer a few years ago, I was trying to look for healthier options in our towns, for a source of organic products produced to use at our home, but I could not find those things. So that moved me to look into our community at Morong Bataan, and then think of a way that our family could solve our problem and contribute to the community as well. So my action plan would involve the formation of an organic establishment of an organic farm in Morong Bataan. Uh, my objectives would be to provide an organic source of organic produce in the town, and to establish a venue for activities that would promote organic agriculture. To give you a background, Morong Bataan is the second largest town in Bataan. It has about 28,000 people living in the town. And its source of income is mostly agriculture, fishing, farming, and tourism. So, in my brief discussion, I will integrate the concept of organic agriculture to things that are already existing in the town, like tourism and agriculture. Problems to be addressed: the lack of organic sources of organic produce in the target area, a lack of organic awareness of organic agriculture, and minimal awareness to the farmers in terms of business and financial options. Right. As I said, the intended audience and target market is Morong Bataan, but we have a goal to, if the project is successful, to expand the reach to the nearby towns, particularly the other towns in Bataan, in Zambales, Subic, Pampanga, and then probably excuse me, the NCR. So the pictures, by the way, are not from the farm. Okay, these are pictures from a trip that I took to Vietnam. Uh, um, while you were on your first field trip, and I wasn't able to join because I was there also doing some research. And why Vietnam? Our town used to be the location of the Philippine Refugee Processing Center. So the for about a decade, there were refugees living there. Because of that, there are aspects of their culture that were adapted by our town. Were food uh, and like noodles and the sandwiches, banh mi, that you can buy there at very reasonable price. So um, I chose to go to Vietnam to learn about these things because, as I said, the town, Morong Bataan, is already a tourist spot. So some of the things that they offer are this food. So when establishing our farm, I want to integrate this knowledge. Right. I would skip more uh, the more boring parts of the plan, like incorporation and farm planning and design. And go straight to the activities that we plan to do to accomplish our main objectives, which is to establish a source of organic produce in the town. First is to coordinate with the LGU, since well it's provided in the Organic Agriculture Act that towns are supposed to have stalls in the public market dedicated to organic produce. But right now, there's no such implementation in our town. So I would like to talk to the officials of the town and see how we can work things out. And then, so when the organic stall is established in the market already, we will be putting up an online store. And then the second goal is to conduct activities related to organic agriculture that would promote organic agriculture. First is to one of the activities that we plan is to have cooking classes using organic produce. And I got this from my tour in Vietnam. That tour included gathering ingredients from the farm, which is owned by the chef. And then after gathering the ingredients, we went to the restaurant, to the kitchen to cook and learn how to cook their native dishes. So we plan to do that. Right now, I'm currently trying to go around Southeast Asia and take cooking classes for this plan. Um, and then we also plan to have camping activities where you will be all invited. and, and, we we were thinking at first to put up cottages, but I think the best way to get in touch with nature, the farm, would be to just provide a camping ground. The uh, plan, the farm, by the way, is just about 2 hectares. But if in case this becomes successful, we plan to use a larger area of the property owned by the family. And next is to host art and music activities during the Pawikan Festival in the town. The Pawikan Festival is held in November annually. So they used to hold concerts and other things, but I understand right now they do not do that anymore. So we we plan to volunteer to put up something for the activity, since we believe that the best way to introduce the concept of organic agriculture to the people in the town of Morong Bataan would be to integrate the learning on activities that are already familiar to them. So for these activities, we would also be coordinating with the LGU, with consultants, with our farm workers. Yeah, so that's me. You can now, thank you for listening. You may now ask me questions.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
So in a nutshell, yung primary motivation mo for starting the farm is for accessible organic food, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I think it's good na let's focus on there muna. Pero the project is good. Ang ganda nung,
Yeah.
especially nung may
Thank you.
art and music festival, may cooking class, may camping. Magandang ano to succeeding activities. But I think it's going to be a noble goal and a huge task to assure healthy food for our family muna. So I think just to be realistic, once we get our farm going at hindi na tayo masyado bumibili sa supermarket. Sinabi ko lang masyado kasi you still have to buy toothpaste and soap sa supermarket. No? So if we decrease our dependence sa grocery in terms of food, I think we have achieved something. So siguro when we're getting almost all of our veggies from the farm or your farm, that's achievement number one. Then when we achieve that, we start to expand
All right.
and to help others do the same. So I the whole thing, di ba, you planned it for the 2015?
My establishment
Yeah.
period would be November 2014 to 2015.
Yeah. Hey, kaya mo yan.
Thank you. I
Kaya
hope.
mo yan. You had to have people to help you for the farm?
Yes. The plan right now is to form a family corporation.
Uh-huh.
So, why a corporation? I took into consideration that we currently have the Agri-Agra law, which mandates that banks should allocate certain percentage of their loanable funds to farmers, to agricultural initiatives and activities. But right now, there's very low compliance of that law, of that mandate. So we plan to incorporate because that would give us easier access to capital. And we would invoke before the bank that hey, you're mandated to provide this certain part of your fund. So we're actually helping you comply with your mandate.
Meron palang ganun, no?
Yes, yes. The problem is hindi lang masyadong nagkaroon ng information campaign. I think there's lack of it, but all banks, whether rural or universal or commercial banks, are required to. I think right now it's 25% of their loanable funds. Well, meron siyempre, sorry, I'm from the banking industry, so meron there is objection to that percentage right now. So I think there will be several amendments that will be proposed, but currently their banks are required to loan to agricultural activities.
Existing na ba yung farm?
Yes. Well, the land and it's existing, but the activity, the plotting, designing is just currently being undertaken.
Kasi I have to agree with Jabez. No, yung siguro pag isa-start natin siya, we focus muna dun sa production side. Pero although yung the other aspects of the plan kasi talagang pasok na siya sa agritourism concept, which is nowadays parang siya yung natural direction na tinitake ng mga farms ngayon, agritourism, dahil sa mga additional revenue streams for the farm. Yun naman sa Agri-Agra law, sa implementations, syempre, siguro we have to look then bakit pababa implementation. Baka naman maraming hindi nagka-qualify or kukunti yung nag-a-apply. Siguro sa information dissemination. Siguro din, I'll have to inject din yung idea na yung pag nag-start ng farms, there not necessarily galing lahat sa banks in the form of loans yung support na makukuha natin. You mentioned kasi na you want to link up with the local government units
Yes.
para actually yung mga initiatives mo sa totoo lang responsibility ng government natin to put up itong mga trading centers. And just for the information of everyone, meron namang may mga budgets allocated para sa mga projects na to. Ang kailangan lang is for your local government unit to take the initiative para i-access yan. Ano? So katulad yun, yung mga trading centers na yan, may budget ang mga regional Department of Agriculture offices para dyan. Kasi kaya katulad ng ibang areas, like for example in Quezon, meron na silang bagsakan ng mga organic products. Bakit wala sa iba? The key lang is hanapin nila paano yung IRR, ano yung mga technical requirements and documentary requirements, tapos ipasa nila sa regional offices para ma-approve siya. Ayun. Tapos yung sa timeline naman, it takes time. Katulad ng ibang proposals na sabi natin sa government, it takes time. Tapos aside from sa regional Department of Agriculture offices, you can also tap yung iba pang departments. There's DOLE para sa um, pag-put up ng mga income opportunities for communities. Meron din silang in the form of grants. Na inuuna ko yung mga grants para wala tayong tinitingnan na repayment pa. Nagbibigay din ng grant yung mga Agricultural Training Institute in terms of trainings, ganyan. Pero sa DOST, I think ngayon mga soft loans na yung binibigay. So in terms of access sa funding, para you can bankroll yung mga projects, maraming grants in extend ng government. Yun lang, kailangan mo lang talagang hanapin siya. So you ask around. Maganda, sana yung sa mga camping, mga youth ang ating i-target.
Yeah.
Kasi we really have to start them. Yeah.
My brother is running a baseball clinic where he's giving free training to kids. So that's one of my our first target participants in the camping.
Yeah, pero overall, you have a very good plan. Sa
Thank
totoo
you.
lang, yung farm kasi, I'm also running a farm. Nandiyan na rin yung direction namin. Pero it took a while before talaga inisip namin na, sige, maybe we can start talaga positioning the farm as an agritourism destination. Kasi for 27 years, nag-concentrate kami sa production. So ngayon na medyo stable na siya, that's when we decided to, sige, tingnan natin kung ano pa yung mga revenue streams na pwede sa farm. Ayun. Pero I have to disagree na boring yung mga naunang part. Kasi I teach NEP eh. So, hindi siya boring.
Thank you. Thank you for the inputs.
I think Larry has something to say. Nakikita ko yung time.
Ay. Sorry.
Baka time is up. Can you kindly repeat again the title of the plan? It's establishment of
An organic farm.
organic farm. Okay. That's a tall order. I have to admit that. And I was glad Javis and Brian was able to contribute in terms of the realities of what they have experienced in terms of putting up an organic agriculture farm. So I just hope that there are some things that I'd like to remind you. That to initiate such kind of project is really time consuming, it's really challenging physically, emotionally, mentally. And to be bogged down by these things at the early initial phase of a project, I think more or less, at the end of the day, you will say, ayoko na. No? So what do I look? I look at this thing as this thing should always be a work in progress. No? Start small, start according to your resources. Okay? In fact, as I hear you say before, a while ago that you had the trip in Vietnam to look into their culinary activities.
Yes,
no? Okay. Um, these are actually, I don't know, but it's quite a very creative solution, no? In terms of enticing people to go organic. If you are able to come up with I think that's your path, culinary.
Yes.
If you are able to buy organic
Camping.
produce from another province and come up with a recipe with that, and then sell it to the school children, and then from there on, give your talk about organic agriculture.
Okay, I'll consider.
Focus on that. So small an activity, but I think these small victories can inspire you to go on to bigger activities, bigger victories that you want to accomplish later on. I would say that it's really very hard. We had a business also, no? So in the process, I don't really involve the government in the process of coming up with the business. We just relied on the resources we have, the determination we have, on what we can really achieve at a certain time. Of course, in the process, you will say, but low profit. But I think you can work on this in time. So focus first on your assets, on what your resources are. And then focus also on whom you will be able to motivate, to inspire, nearest to you. You know, the school nearest to your place, or it's a matter of targeting. So it's really kind of tedious, but at the start, at least you will not be bogged down by some bureaucracy or red tape of this kind of things.
Thank you, ma'am. My dad is actually about to retire this month, November 19, and he's currently working as district supervisor of the school. So I think that should be something that we will be looking into. Your suggestion.
Even at this point that you don't have organic produce, because I think you can always buy organic produce all over nowadays. So it's a matter of buying them and then cooking some sandwiches, those small things, which can inspire you to go on.
All right. Thank you.
One thing, may I add, please correct me if I'm wrong. Have you considered getting third-party certification?
We're also considering that, but right now,
What I'm suggesting that right from the start, you involve a group or organization in your for your third-party certification, because it takes a long time. It's not even your 1 year timeline won't be sufficient enough to get you certified.
yes,
Yep.
everyone.
So please take that into consideration also, because it will add more to your farm rather than start late.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ada. You have a good plan, and I agree. I think starting small is not bad because the risks involved. We have to be realistic. I think the three presenters have a common denominator. May tatlong, bagamat tatlong presenter natin, may isang common denominator sa kanila. Kailangan nilang pabilisin ang proseso na kailangan nilang tahakin sa kanila. Katulad ni Ada, pwede siyang pumunta sa Department of Agriculture. Kaya lang napaka-voluminous ng paper requirement. Kaabot ko lang kay Larry ng paano ka magsasabit ng proposal sa Department of Agriculture kung ikaw ay isang private institution, kung ikaw ay government institution. Sa bilang pa lang ng papeles na kailangan isubmit sa DA, sasabihin mo, ayoko na sa government, support, ng government support. Pero ito yung iba't ibang salamin na kailangan nating tingnan. Saan tayo may opportunities at ano ang ibibigay sa ating pagkakataon. Kailangan din yan. Baka kailangan ding makipag-partner katulad ng nakita namin kina Brian, nakipag-partner sila sa Provincial Agriculturist ng Laguna at nasuportahan ang kanilang nursery. So, kay Ada, kay Dan, ang mahirap dito ay facilitator tayo. Hindi tayo kailangang master of all trades, but we have to learn the art of facilitation. Pupunta tayo sa pang-apat nating presenter this morning from a different niche naman, from a different environment that he has been working on. This is on certification. So Ada, may 2 taon ka na transition stage before you are required to produce organic products. So 2 years in your farm na transition stage. So unti-unti papunta ka doon. So we would like to call on our expert on third-party certification, Mr. Randy Lawyer. Randy?
Thank you. Appreciate being here. I was raised on a organic farm, multi-generational organic farm. So I don't remember not being involved in organic agriculture. It's been interesting for me being here in the Philippines for the last 30 years that the farm that I was raised on, we didn't call it organic farming, we called it livelihood. We called it life. That particular farm has grown from about 70 hectares to about 50,000 hectares now. And we've maintained its organic integrity throughout that period. Observing in the Philippines, the bit that I have, I've observed that the Philippines kind of gone the opposite. Through agrarian reform, many of the large land holdings have diminished to 2 to 3 hectare farms. I won't make any comment as to what I can, about the viability of that process, but it does present a bit of a problem for market access. And I'm glad I heard mention of certification. My primary objective is to help farmers gain that market access. Of course, it's difficult. And I'm trying to keep down to my 3 to 4 minutes. That was supposed to be I'm past now, I better end. But I'd like to read just something that was in a ICS manual from a group in India. I thought summed it up quite well. It said, why grower group certification? In our country, and that's not, it could be apply equally well to the Philippines because the average farms we deal with are about 3 to 4 hectares. But in our country, majority of the producers are small and medium farmers with an average land holding of 1 to 2 hectares. Some of these farmers are located in remote areas, which take them long travel and time to reach places for selling their products. The financial status is very meager to afford certification for getting a better price in the market. For this, it is necessary to evolve group certification process to overcome the economical difficulties of the farmers and to ensure compliance of their production as a group with national standards. So, how do you gain market access if you've only got 1 or 2 hectares? Grower group certification is a wonderful idea. We primarily focus on Japan through JAS, EC and European Community, and USDA's NOP program out of the United States. And I'll just go through I appreciated Professor Ray's action plan matrix. It allowed me to kind of concentrate this and organize it in a better way, I think. Title of activity, plan to conduct farmer training for organic agriculture. The objective is to increase farmer awareness and interest in the benefits of organic agriculture. Obviously, the carry on to that is market access. If they're not interested in becoming organic and practicing proper organic principles, they're opportunity for the market access that we deal with in the coconuts will be extremely limited. They might as well, they're just basically confined to copra buyers. Problems being addressed: apathy and disinterest, disinformation amongst the coconut farmers regarding organic farming. And of course, they are the intended audience, the coconut farmers, and primarily here in the Quezon province. Not here, I'm sorry, we're not the Quezon province. Yes, we are, I'm sorry. I travel around so much, I forget where I am. But expected results: to increase the awareness and involvement by training coconut farmers in organic farming practices. Progress indicators: using the USDA NOP organic rules as a standard for good organic practices, observing and measuring the extent and change of compliance among the farmers will show the extent to which the objectives, activities, and expected results are being fulfilled. The activities: I will organize farmers to attend training seminar, sign up to join a grower group, organize and sign the requisite contract to commit to good organic farming practices. Thereafter, I'll continue to monitor and train the group to ensure compliance. Timetable: I estimate that it'll take under a month to organize and conduct the first farmer training, 3 months to complete the inspections and training for 80 farmers to ready them for third-party inspection, which will enable the group to enjoy the benefits of organic certification from increased product value that enables a payment of an organic premium. Inputs: PowerPoint presentation for the training, computer training venue, food for the attendees. I intend to make sure that they get fed, otherwise they probably aren't interested in showing up, and also transportation allowance. MAU would be involved, the Municipal Agricultural Office. PCA's cooperation is requested, and they're very cooperative. As long as we focus on the grower group being a farmers co-op and encourage them to develop their internal control system, the government, I'm found, is quite supportive. The local LGU, the local government unit support and cooperation. Further inputs would be 2 inspectors and trainers and a project manager. A rough budget is we need a computer to give support for the controlling and organizing the group. Food and transportation allowance, about 8,000 each for the training for the farmers. And then we need the salaries. No need to go into the detail, but we have a budget for that. I would be the project manager. I generally don't carry on the training because the farmers, some of them are well educated, but for the most part, a lot of them don't speak English, but they also don't read and write Tagalog. It's been a bit of a challenge. There were 3 opportunities, and I'm going to sit down, but there's 3 opportunities in the activities that Professor Ray suggested. It was interesting. The third one talked about in the training, these tarpaulins. We found it's very useful to actually prepare a tarpaulin that has the do's and don'ts of organic practices for the farmers. And the tarpaulin's nice because when it rains, it doesn't get destroyed, and you just put it up and it's right there in front of them. And when the third-party certifier comes in, you can see that there's been a genuine effort to help them be trained. There's a reminder there. They can see that they've, but we also find that it has to be not just in Tagalog, but also it's good to kind of have the pictures there for the farmers to see proper practices. That is a bit of a challenge, but anyway, enough of that. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and participate with you, and I've learned a lot and continue to learn. Especially, I appreciate the other presenters. They great presentations, and thank you, Professor Ray. Oh, questions and answers. I'm sorry. I thought I was going to escape that, but.
Hi, good morning. How many farmers do you plan to work with in Quezon?
difficult question to answer because I actually do this for a living. So I have to kind of sort of distill this down for this presentation. For the presentation, the number is 80. For actual practice, it's probably this year we'll probably be dealing with over 2,000.
So who's helping you with the project?
Who's helping?
Yeah,
me?
the group, the government.
The government helps us. The PCA helps us.
Okay.
MAU offices help us. The co-ops have organization. Depends on which farmers
Mhm.
we're dealing with. So
Okay.
then we of course have our own ICS that we help the farmers with, and we have our own staff to do training. So
Okay. So you've got everything in place pretty much.
it's never really in place. It's, reality is it's not a perfect world, right? You're always trying to make things better. Right?
Yeah. Okay. So what do the farmers think about the standards of USDA? Do they have already like an orientation about it? Are they aware of the standards of USDA?
In the training, firstly, we have a PowerPoint presentation and a lot of pictures to kind of show do's and don'ts, but mostly the very first thing is an orientation
Mhm.
to talk about the benefits of organic farming and introduce a bit of the practices and the do's and the don'ts.
Mhm.
It's interesting in the Philippines, the PCA has a great saying. I love it. It says, all the coconuts in the Philippines are organic by neglect.
Yeah.
But that does not excuse the need for training and compliance. And so it's not really true. I mean, if you have a coconut, if you're down in Mindanao and you have a coconut plantation next to a banana plantation and they're spraying the bananas, or here they're doing intercropping and somebody's spraying their corn, you're going to have drift or you're going to have contamination. You need buffer zones. These are all, it goes on and on. So lots of things to consider.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. My question is, if your project is for certification, what cost does the project have as farmers? Are they trained for free or shouldered by the government? And what is the end point? Once they get certified, they also link them up with potential market.
That's a great question. Remember, that's why one of the reasons why I started my presentation with the words market access. Capital is necessary. The earlier last 2 minutes, thank you. The earlier presentations brought out some wonderful projects, but one of the things they're going to be running into is capital requirements. Our fine attorney from Makati, the tax attorney, talks about incorporation, and part of that's leading into financial support from the banks, and all this is needed. And if you don't have it, it's pretty hard to move. When we invite farmers to the training, usually if we don't provide a transportation allowance sometimes and some food at the venue, we get pretty sparse attendance. If we're careful about doing it properly, we can have 200 farmers now we're not bribing them to come in. I mean, we're helping them facilitate that. But in this case, there's a great market, world market. And like I said, we provide market access through group certification. You cannot sell this particular product in Europe and the United States if you cannot put an EC organic or USDA sticker on your bottle. It just won't happen. So you've got to have transparency, traceability, and record keeping from farm to fork. And the farmers are an integral part of that process. And if we don't train them and teach them and explain it to them, they're not available. And if they're not available, it doesn't get to market. So does that answer your question?
Do you only work with groups, or do you also work with individual?
We do
farms?
both. I mean, I would love it if there was a 50,000 hectare farm out there that we could go certify. It would be wonderful, wouldn't it? But that wonderful CARP program has pretty much knocked that out of contention. But the Philippines is not unique. Brazil, India, the Philippines. It's a worldwide, I don't know what to call it, experience that many places have agrarian reform, and consequently we have to address it. And grower group certification is a wonderful way to do it. It takes a lot of work, So
Thank you.
I'm out of time. Any more questions? Okay, thank you
Okay,
very much.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we could proceed to our fifth. Thank you, Randy, presenter from Mindanao, to present not only her plans, but I think the ongoing activities on her farm. Doctora.
Good morning po. I'm Mary Ruth Yanga from Zamboanga City. I am a physician by profession. I had been practicing for the last more than 20 years. I am an obstetrician gynecologist. I perform surgeries. And initially, I do not know why I was here. My husband, a retired general, actually pushed me to enroll in OA. And I thought I will not enjoy, but I think I had the best times relative to agriculture, the experiences, the friendships. So thank you, especially under Sir Ray. I am also working as a school physician in Zamboanga City, covering 200 public elementary and secondary schools. So I think it is no wonder why my action plan is centered in schools. Zamboanga City, saan ang page 1? Meron dito sa first. May picture. Okay, anyway, wala po. May first page sana ako showing you the map of Zamboanga City. Zamboanga City has 98 barangays, and I think we became more popular last year during the Zamboanga Siege. Hindi po buong Zamboanga City ang affected, sayang walang mapa. It was only in 3 barangays. We have 98 barangays. Ayan na. Nahiya na po ako kaya tinanggal ko po yung MD sa dulo ng pangalan ko. Pinaghirapan ko yung MD pero sa purpose po ng presentation, parang naaalanganin po ako maglagay ng MD. Pero anyway, I was working until yesterday afternoon. Dumating po ako kagabi at 10 p.m. just to catch up with this morning session. Actually, nabasa ko ang message ni Sir Ray that I will be one of the presenters at 1:30 in the morning yesterday. And I had to wake up my husband. Huy, gumising ka. Magpipresent ako. Paano na ito? Akala ko magsasubmit lang ako. Pero anyway, nandito na po. Ito na po yung map ng Zamboanga City. We have 98 barangays. Yung siege po na sinasabi ko, saan na ba siya? Dito lang, ditong portion na lang. Ang siege. Kami nakatira somewhere dito na medyo malayo, but we are still in the city proper kasi ang laki nga ng city ng Zamboanga. Now, I will be pointing out to you 3 barangays, specifically 1, Tolosa. This barangay is about 1 hour and 45 minutes drive from the city proper. When I say the city proper, this portion, that's where our city hall is located. It's about 1 hour and 45 minutes drive, though
The road network in all the 3 barangays are perfect. So there's no problem in terms of marketing. Sabi ko kanina, mabuti pa mag-explain ng cesarean section kaysa sa... So anyway, this is Tolosa, the barangay. The other barangay is Lumayang. This is about 1 hour and 15 minutes away from the city proper. And this is Kapisan, about 40 minutes away from the city proper. Lahat po ng barangays na ito are located up parang mountain ng Zamboanga. So medyo malayo siya. But it is really accessible. I chose these 3 barangays sa presentation ko because Tolosa and Kapisan are our farming area in Zamboanga, producing at least 30% ng vegetables sa market. While in Lumayang, ang sabi po ng principal, hindi po fertile ang kanilang lupa within the school. Paano? Ay, di ko alam. Ito na ang reason bakit ayaw ko mag-enroll sa OA. Illiterate. Now to my presentation proper. The title of my activity is Organic Gulayan sa Paaralan. I really want to embrace big, but the realization is there that I can never do it at the start of what I really want to do. Actually, nag-enroll po ako sa OA because we have a farm. Na gusto sana naming gawin talagang totally organic. So I would like to start in a small setting, the school, of which I am a part of. Yung 3 barangay na yon, because I hope to work with them locally sa mga schools because all these 3 barangays have their own elementary school. So the title of my activity is Organic Gulayan sa Paaralan. DepEd has its own program of Gulayan sa Paaralan. This has been for like 5 years now, but unfortunately, organic has never been practiced, though I think DA had done their share. So ngayon, ang objective ko is to make the schools Gulayan sa Paaralan in 3 pilot schools totally or fully organic. The problem that I will be addressing is the shift from traditional farming to the organic way of producing vegetables organically. Kasi mahirap, di ba? Because it's not just saying A, B, C, D, E, F in school. It's not that easy. You have to show them. Now, bakit school ang aking na-target? Ang na-target ko po because, di ba, ang sabi natin, learning starts sa school. Though ang sabi naman nila, talaga sa home. But what the pupils will learn or will see in school, they will share it at home, and later, it will be discussed in the community. So yun po ang aking purpose why I chose ang setting ko, the school. Ang aking intended audiences, principal, the EPP teacher, ito yung EPP teacher, yung dati na HE teacher, yung edukasyong pangkalusugan at panlipunan. Ito yung HE teacher natin. So, ang EPP teacher po ng school ay siya ang magiging garden teacher. And then the grades 5 and 6 pupils who will be involved in the actual gardening sa school. Okay. Parang mali yata itong dapat convince, no? Sabi ko nga, well, I was preparing this, dapat pala ang nauna ang activities, no, bago ang lahat. So anyway, I have prepared 6 activities for the Organic Gulayan sa Paaralan. First is to have a conference with the school principals and EPP teachers in the 3 pilot schools. The timetable is October to November. Actually, I already started talking to them September yet. Pero dahil maraming activities, I think we will be doing everything when I get back home. So, ang inputs will be brochures and leaflets which will be coming from the DA. And I hope I can use yung what learnings that I have had this past few months. Ang budget po, the school MOOE and the responsible persons or agency are the school principals and EPP teachers. Ang aking expected results expected result is to convince the principal and the EPP teacher should have been convinced, persuaded, and engaged. So ibig sabihin, dapat nakuha ko na ang kanilang willingness to shift to organic, which is now ang aking progress indicator, ang their willingness to shift to organic. The second activity, ito napakasimpleng activity in gardening, no? Siyempre, conference, and then after that, we have to prepare the garden lots. Na ngayon, ang garden lots, we're doing it this month. Yun ang napag-usapan namin. We have the National Jamboree, Boy Scout Jamboree in Zamboanga City right now. So after the Jamboree, we'll be doing it. Ang aking inputs will be the rice straw, carbonized rice hull, vermicast compost, and yung liquid fertilizer na we learned making, yung FPJ and FFJ. So ito po, magiging donations lang po. Actually, donations po ng husband ko. Kasi 3 schools naman. Just to prove ba, sir, kasi gusto namin malaman ng mga farmers sa community that with these things, simple as dayami, can help them. Diba? Actually, sa aking farm, I started with plastic mulch. On the 3rd month of OA, I remove all the plastic mulch and change it to dayami. Especially those plots na hindi pa natataniman, pinalitan ko po siya ng dayami kasi 3rd month pa lang ako going together with Sir Ray sa mga nagkaroon po ako ng konsensyang UP. So, eto po, magiging donations. And then, gagawin po namin ito if maggagawa ng plot, which is 1 by 5, at least 4 plots sa bawat school. And then, we will mix the soil with the right carbonized. Parang natatakot ako tumingin dito. We will mix together the carbonized rice hull, tapos yung vermicast, the compost, and then cover it with the dayami. And then, siguro twice a week water it every day, at least twice a day with water. And then siguro twice a week with yung ginawa natin na yung juice. Para lang mag-soften yung dayami, ma-absorb, matutunaw, para makapasok siya sa soil itself. Ayun ang ating gagamitin para sa ating planting. No? And then another is to secure vegetable activities. No? Secure vegetable seeds. From the DA, kasi ang DA is the one helping the schools. They are providing the schools with the DA, but then I can also give BPI, from BPI. Now, I think the most important sa lahat ng trabaho na ito will be the last one. No? Ito, yung organize a lecture sa mga EPP teachers, teaching them how to do composting itself. Because sa school, marami nang makikita tayong gamit na pwede nilang gamitin sa kanilang composting. And also to teach them how to do FPJ and FFJ. So with that, I would like to say, muchísimas gracias in Zamboanga. And kasi natagurian akong abusayaf parlance, magsukol, I am etausug. From Holosulu, I am a Tausug. So that's magsukul. So you learn 1 word from me. If I learn so many from you, you will learn 1 word. That's magsukul. Thank you. Kanina pa, Sir Larry, kaya tinapos ko agad.
Was that time is up? Sorry. I had a similar presentation last when it was mainly involving the kids, not just the teachers.
Yeah. ang kids mismo ang silang who will be doing the activities like preparation of the plot, the planting and all. So sila ito because yun talaga ang nasa mind ko to involve them because I want them to learn and then from there sila ang magsasabi sa mga magulang nila because these are children of farmers who are producing the vegetables being sold in the market and are not organic.
Yes. They were the ones who actually influenced their parents.
Yun din
That's
ang
why we
intention.
started young. It happened in our case Pasiano Rizal because it's one of our adopted school in one of my civic organizations. So it's doable and very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to commend yung lecture for EPP teachers. I would like to commend that. Ang galing nun kasi di ko alam na EPP is HE na pala.
Hindi na HE.
Hindi na
EPP
HE,
na.
so
Opo.
EPP. So it's good na i-target natin yun kasi they would be very influential sa kids eh. Kasi mabibigyan sila ng direction, what to do, and magandang platform ang school for that. And gusto ko rin yung emphasis mo kanina yung you changed your mulch from plastic to dayami.
Yeah.
Because although mulching is one of the basic techniques na dinuturo sa organic agriculture, it is mostly overlooked sa trainings. Nami-mention siya, but dinadaanan lang siya, yung mulching. But hindi nabibigyan ng emphasis on that. One thing lang din sa dayami, no, kung hindi organic yung source ng dayami,
Yun lang sir. Oo, yun lang.
let it decompose muna a bit, no, bago natin ilagay. And actually, ang mulch talaga will be one of our major helpers lalo na sa drought next year. Kasi we can have monitored watering of plots, ganyan. So, and mag-retain ng moisture. So, sana yung message of mulching mas spread natin. And especially, I think yung task, it's on you to emphasize the things that you've learned sa OA, to pass it to them. So, maganda yung yung program. I like how the matrix was laid out. I think it's doable. You can do this next year. And I wish you well. I hope may results na tayo next year. No? So,
I hope so because
yeah.
I'm starting it now.
Yeah, so very positive para doon. Thanks.
So,
Hello, Doktora.
hello.
First off, gusto kong sabihin na I love your enthusiasm. Talagang kitang-kita namin yung enthusiasm sa organic agriculture. Tapos I also like how you laid out yung plan. Everything is there sa slide. Tama yung sa schools, yung 3 schools. Because I'm also yung planning yung the same sa schools. Simulan natin sila young. Tapos hopefully by the end of this yung first run, maging isa na siyang model. I always yung pag may nakitang projects na ganyan, I always tell yung mga project managers na sana isa sa mga magiging output yung magiging model siya na even on paper madaling i-replicate by other barangays. Because I think with the kakulangan in resources and sa dami rin ng ginagawa ng mga tao natin sa Department of Agriculture, it's a very good thing na merong someone as proactive as you are to promote yung organic agriculture dun sa Zamboanga. So good job, congratulations, and I really hope na mag-prosper.
Ma'am, good morning po.
Good morning. It has been proven right now that medical doctors can have a second career in organic farming. And why? They will be really good at that because they know how to attack the problem. Okay? They know where to operate, which to operate right away. No? That can immediately bring less pain to the patient. Okay? There are just some things that I would like to congratulations so pala, pati kay General, because I think he's been a part of that project. Are you not including flowering ornamentals? I ask this because I'm reminded of Zamboanga as the city of flowers.
We are no longer the city of flowers. We are now Asia's Latin city. But anyway, ma'am, it was changed, ma'am, just about 3 years ago. We are now Asia's Latin city. Anyway, kasi di na sir nakikita ang mga flowers that we saw before. Pero anyway, kasi personally, we have a property. It's 800 meter, malamig siyang lugar. Actually, ang takbo po ng aming is geared towards planting ornamentals. And rest assured, ma'am, we will be using organic. We will never use.
Because we always associate organic with food crops, with food plants, as they call right nowadays. And I think it should also expand to ornamentals because we still have so much to appreciate in nature besides food, no? Food crops. Another thing, what incentive system will you use or are you thinking about in terms of those students or pupils who will participate? That's one.
Siguro personally, it would just be at this time, it would just be siguro after a year because we will be starting it this school year and it's already towards the end of the school
Yes,
year.
yes.
So probably we can fully implement this program next school year. And I hope by the end of the year, we could have accomplished something because itong mga vegetables na ito na ipoproduce nila will also be used by the school in its feeding program. So siguro incentive initially would be just giving them like more of the requirements that they need.
Okay, good.
Na hindi naman siguro masyadong too heavy.
So there is no division of the produce. I mean, are you thinking also along this line that because sometimes you have to work on the motivation of pupils, of teachers.
Actually, ma'am, ang produce po na that they have galing sa gulayan, dalawang ano lang po. First is they will use it in their own school feeding. And second, they sell it. Whatever remains, they are being sold. So, may income sila. So, that income, napupunta siya sa mga services na meron ng school or ginagamit din nila sa mga like sa drum and lyre group, like sa mga activities outside the school.
That will be more meaningful for them, I think. Nakita nila kung saan pupunta yung produce, yung benefits from the produce. Do you also have plans to eventually go into livestock?
At this point, sorry sir.
No,
OJ, parang nahihirapan ako yung the way I saw Sir OJ sa farm niya and doon sa parang not at this point parang ayoko, hindi ko pa maisip-isip.
I raise that question because you're now hitting eventually, no? You're now hitting the organic what's this? The extent of organic agriculture, no? I raise with livestock. Parang kahit pa isa-isa lang na baboy or pa na manok, no? So that it gives opportunities also for the school children to do that in their own homes. No?
Okay.
And I remember Jabez is classmate of our only son. I think in their home practical HE, they raise a pig, I think. Only one pig, no? Only one pig. And everyone contributed to that pig. And when I asked my son, ano nangyari sa baboy? Sabi nila, naghati-hati. Bakit wala tayo? Hindi po kasi ako kumakain ng baboy. Sabi niya gano'n. So, these things, no, that can, and he really enjoyed that. I mean, it's only one pig. But
Siguro, ma'am, I will try to. I'll try
At that
to
time,
see.
I doubt if it's organic.
Titingnan ko po.
Okay, yun lang po. Salamat.
So with that, last question, gusto ko lang po sabihin, meron
May I
pa.
just add to it? Because in organic agriculture, integrated farming is the most ideal setup because you don't need to buy other your compost. So please take it in consideration.
Actually, sa totoo lang, my husband has been telling me that he wants to raise native chicken. So naririnig ko na yan sa kanya, paano, ganyan, ganyan. Pero ako personally, ako ang half owner ng farm. Parang sandali lang muna. Gusto ko muna mag-concentrate dito. If I can see something good talaga, which is talaga naman may something good in organic farming, say 5 years from now, then probably we can go into the native chicken. So wala na po. Mag-closing na po ako. I would just like to say, siguro everything is worth it. Nawalan ako ng mga kita during my absence, sa mga surgeries, sa mga lahat. And you know, ang colleagues ko po ang tawag sa akin, my fellow doctors, they are now calling me now Farmer Yanga. Hindi na po Doktora Yanga. Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Doktora. Mahusay na doktor si Doktora kasi klaro sa akin ang problema na gusto niyang tuunan. Pangalawa, yung pamamaraan at saka yung istruktura na kakaharapin niya. Napansin niyo na mula sa una hanggang sa pang-apat na nag-report o pang-5 ay nangangailangan pala ng art of negotiation. Nakita ko yung kay Doktora kasi makikipag-negotiate siya sa mga teachers at saka sa mga parents. Ang susunod po nating tagapag-report ay isa ring masidhi na estudyante dahil kung hindi sa kanya, hindi namin madidiscover ang wine producing enterprise dito sa Laguna, si Miss Jackie Ong. Jackie.
Hi, good morning, Professor Ray, Sir Larry, and panelists and my classmates. My name is Jacqueline, and if you would allow me, I'd like to also acknowledge the presence of my distant cousin. Popoy is there. He's from Ambalaya, Tagudin, Ilocos Sur, a very small barangay in Ilocos Sur, wherein you have to cross a bridge below a river to get there. If you looked at my introductions, one of the reasons why I took up organic agriculture in the first place is because I have such a family in the province who are like that, like very backward, very poor. And I have, like his grandmother had to come to Manila to take care of us so that, you know, she could send money to fend for them. So my grandmother, I mean, I call her my grandmother as well, would bring me to the province. And then I see how, you know, like there's a need for change here. So every time I go there, you know, I just blurt out empty words pala because I don't know anything. So that's one of the main reasons actually why I took up organic agriculture. And this action plan that I'm doing is beyond, you know, just saying out what I know, but actually trying out what I know and sharing to them if they could do it as well. So wait, let me find it. Hey, I'm also illiterate. Yeah, there. So I know how, you know, every local structure is different. So what I'm doing here may not be copied there in Ilocos Sur, but then I thought I couldn't go to Ilocos Sur and live there and just say what I know unless I actually try it out. So I looked around me, what I have, and I live in Valenzuela. So that's what I have, and that's what I have access to. So here, I'm gonna call it Lawang Bato Farm Village. So I hopefully it would be an organic farm village in the city because I live in the city. It's a 5,000 square meter raw land. Hopefully it could be an integrated, diversified organic farm community that produces, sells, expands organic agriculture in the region. And hopefully it could be an educational tour site as well and a demo farm. You know, ultimately that's the goal for you know, farmers in the provinces to come and check it out. So just to give you a brief background on where Lawang Bato is, that's Valenzuela. It's at the tip of Metro Manila. So to come here, I have to pass through all the cities of Metro Manila. And Lawang Bato is like the next barangay in Lawang Bato is already Bulacan. So this is what Lawang Bato looks like. You know, we have 2 chicken farms right beside us. That's 1, that's 2. And then we have a school right in front of us, Lawang Bato Elementary School. And this is the gate of that 5,000 square meter land. And that's the inside of it. And actually beside it is a warehouse. So it's pretty, it would be an organic farm village in the city. Talaga. But then the thing with this is that since it's right across the school, no factories are allowed to be built within a specific distance. So yeah, so we could, we could use it for agri-commercial purposes because usually in Valenzuela, it's an industrial zone. So mostly people put up warehouses or factories, but in this case, we couldn't. So that's a Lawang Bato Farm Village, an organic farm village in the city. Some problems to be solved. I think there is no educated consciousness on food production, actually even in my own family. There is limited information and access to new technology for farmers in the nearby provinces and organic options for the consumer. Like if you talk about organic in Valenzuela City, it's unheard of. Like no one sells organic, or maybe not even a family consumes organic. I don't know, but it's an unheard of thing. So some features is that it's very accessible. Valenzuela, it's in a city, and there's captive audience because it's within a locality, and it's close proximity to the northern provinces like Bulacan and all that. That's Popoy, by the way, with the goats. Yeah. So the target audience would be students, housewives, factory workers who may have a small backyard in their rented place or idle land in the province, because a lot of people residing in Valenzuela are factory workers, because a lot of those are factories. And I believe, they come from provinces and they have idle land there and they couldn't tend to those because they're here. Farmers and consumers, so there. So objectives: to be an educational center for local students and workers to learn about organic farming, to be a demo farm, and to be an integrated, diversified organic farm that produces and sells. So here are my expected results. Of course, you start with having a trained team, and then a physical farm structure, and then the actual organic farm, farm produce in the market, because we want to show that you could actually market it and get income from it. And then community involvement, because I believe any enterprise or any group wouldn't thrive if it's detached from a community. And then educational farm tour, because we're right in front of a school. And eventually a demo farm for those farmers or the factory workers who could come. So here there's an arrow that goes from one end to the other, because I don't think it's a continuum that ends at the end and starts at the beginning. It's like you move here and there. You kind of you test the market, and then you change a bit in your farm, or you move towards the educational farm tour, and then you're like, oh, I don't know a lot more about this, so I train more. There. So there, we're gonna run through it very quickly because I know I have the time limit. Trained team, certification, take a formal course, and then training merits, you attend seminars and participate in exhibits, and then knowledge base, you go on farm tours and talk to farming communities and join online farming groups or actual farming groups. So these are the action steps. Take a formal course, that's why I'm here. UPOU, and that's why we're all here. And attend seminars. ATI has regular seminars that's for free. Participate in exhibits. Even just go there, you don't have to, pay. Like I know AgriLink and then BRR, they have those free trade fairs and exhibits. And go on farm tours. Very grateful that our curriculum has farm tours. And even on my own, I try to go to farm tours. If I go abroad, if I go to a new place, I try to check out what they have, even if it's just a rooftop garden. Yeah. So farm tours, we talk to farming communities, like we talk to Masipag, and I try to go to the province in Ilocos once in a while to just build relationships and really ask them what they want or what they have or what they need, and and join online farming groups. Like there's New Wave, very well represented here. And there's So as well, Spread Organic Agriculture in the Philippines. So these aren't just online groups, but these are actual groups that get together. So hopefully I'll be more active in those in those groups because I'm just starting. Thank you. So there, timeline and budget there. So ever since we started, that's when I started, June, July. Yeah. So that's how much we kind of like paid for it. There, result 2, physical farm structure. Of course, you have a design map, or actually this could evolve. Ours kind of like evolved along the way, like going to the farm of Jabez and Maya. It's kind of, oh, why don't we do this? Because I saw this in their farm. So, you don't really have to have someone to design it initially because it really depends on how it's going to function. And then caretaker's house. Of course, you have to take care of the people who take care of you. And then, a bahay kubo because, every farm has to have a bahay kubo, I think. And a farmhouse, just so you could have a place where you do things. A greenhouse. We didn't have a greenhouse prior to going to Jabez's Kainos farm, and going there, it gave you an idea on how you grow seedlings. And we use a lot of recycled wood because in Valenzuela, it's an industrial zone. So a lot of people throw away coco lumber roof that has a hole. They just put Vulcasil on it. So I just kind of like looked at what we have, what's around us, and just use them. And then dormitory accommodation. Like right now, we still don't have accommodation, but then after hearing from Ada, I think we're not going to have a dormitory anymore. We're just going to have a campsite. So I think that's way cheaper than this budget. And it's a lot more fun because if you talk about camping in Valenzuela, it's unheard of. Yeah. And a timeline and a budget for that is, it's pretty expensive, but as my architect sister would say, you don't count it in the budget because this is an investment that is there if you sell the place. Okay. Next is integrated diversified organic farm. So these are the things that I think an integrated organic farm has. I try to make it as complete as I could think of. So with these organic fertilizers, I just basically wrote what we learned in the past few months. Like vermi, CRH, liquid fertilizers, these things. So these are the action steps, which I think all of you know as well. So I won't read through all of those. I do want to point out the third one, the collect waste from nearby public market and public school, because right beside us, like very close to us, is a public market, and across us is a public school. So after learning how to make those fertilizers, and we don't have that much kitchen waste, we went to the public elementary school across us, and we just told them, hey, we want your kitchen waste. You could just bring it to our gate, and maybe in exchange in the future when we're kind of like running, we could give them fertilizers for because they have like a mini garden. So it works perfectly well. And I realized that public schools eat a lot of bananas because they would give us every day sacks of banana peel. Yeah. There, fruit trees. I wanted to plant native. Yeah, more of like, so getting to know Mr. Guyana, he gave me these bignay and lipote and abute seedlings to plant. And I feel like, we could. So I feel like, it's later on, if I have an educational like farm tour, we could teach students about these native trees instead of just knowing the common ones like Nara and Acacia, but what else after that, right? So there. Okay, I don't know what to do. Yeah. And then vegetable plantation, these things as well. So right now, we share to friends, or I just eat whatever is grown, or I give to whoever wants it, because I don't, right now it's not there yet, but we're planting. And chickens and ducks. To plant, I just plant these like you could stuff plants that you could use, like Super Napier, Trichantera, Indegrofera, those things that you could actually use in the farm. And we got a pair of ducks and goats from Ambalayat, so they're imported from Ilocos, but they're free, so that's good. And recycled wood I'm all for recycling. So if you would look at our farm, sometimes it looks tagpi, but then that's how it is. You recycle stuff if it could be used, and you share to other people. You got it for free, so you give it away for free as well. Seedlings and all those stuff. And then mushroom plantation, this is something that I would love to try. Being part Chinese, I think a lot of Chinese like mushrooms. And instead of buying, why don't we grow our own mushrooms? Because I know they just sprout from somewhere. But honestly, I have yet to research on this. I think it's not even in our curriculum, but I would research on this. This is something that I would want to focus on. And perhaps some Peking duck as well, because I know Chinese like Peking duck. So Peking duck and mushrooms, why not? Yeah. So there. Maybe that's the cost, maybe not. I don't really know. I'm not good in budgeting, but maybe it's 25,000. Yeah. Yeah. So farm produce in the market, I know I have to have a tested schedule. So that's what I'm doing right now, trying to test everything. I know I don't have time to show you the progress report of what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to say it that, we planted everything from lettuce to broccoli to whatever that may not really grow in Valenzuela, but try it, right? So, and I also went around, the restaurants that I eat at, or check their menu and see, what vegetables do they need? If we're gonna supply them, then we should plant what they need. But I'm just thinking way ahead. We're not selling anything yet. A network of loyal organic consumers. Okay, how to do it? You advertise online, Facebook, and then I learned this order taking delivery system from the Perez Park, from the Tayabas market there. It's the first time I've ever heard of it. It's when someone calls and asks people, what vegetable do you need and all that. So supply restaurants and then tap Cariton vendors. This is something I think that's very special in our city. Later, I'll show it to you in the next slide. And then distribution in different organic markets. Public market in Lawang Bato, which is just a stone's throw away. And then good food community. It's a very good community. Maybe we could partner in the future, and partner with those who put up booths, those who sell. I know OJ sells a lot. You partner with those, and so here, I want to introduce to you si Mang Nicasio, a vegetable cariton vendor around Valenzuela City. Valenzuela is a um, low is a how do you say it? It's a very low cost, low class, if I may say it, city. So a lot of people don't have refrigerators in Valenzuela. So they buy their vegetables every day if they can. Of course they have a daily budget then because they only have like maybe, they get their wage every day. So they buy vegetables every day. And that's what Mang Nicasio does. I kind of like cornered him and interviewed him and asked him, how much you earn or where do you get everything? He gets it from the Balintawak market. He goes there 11 in the evening, but then he has a financier, if you may call it, like someone buys for him, and then he just gets a percentage. And I'm like, you like roam around for like 12 hours, and then you just get 20% of what you sell. So we could partner with these Cariton vendors, supply them directly with what we have. They don't have to go to Balintawak market. They just come and go around the barangay, even if it's just the barangay. There. Oops. There. So maybe by next year, who knows? Maybe it's gonna take me longer because I'm still experimenting. So next is community involvement. I'm all for this. Cooperation with the public market and school. This is what we're doing right now. We get waste from the school, but not yet in the market because it looks scary because it's like a lot of them there. I think that's part of that. And then backyard garden in every barangay home. Because I think even if your home is very small, there's always a pocket garden where you could plant. And, we could conduct it with the barangay captain. He's a very nice man. We're friends and dance barangay. Barangay garden in every city home, okay? We meet with a mayor. Yeah, I'm not yet friends with the mayor, but hopefully in the future we will be friends. So it will be easier for us. And then conduct, seminars in the city hall. And then, we have home for the aged in our city. They have 5,000 square meters land as well, but it's just grass and trees and nothing else. So hopefully we could tap them as well. And then industrial parks, every industrial park has a, even just they could just plant one tree, plant a coconut tree or what, I don't know. So how much? Maybe just 20,000. I kind of just eyeballed it for everything else there. And lastly, educational, no, this is second to the last, educational farm tour, I'm sorry. Student visits to the farm, no, they just cross the street. That's my first goal for Laong Bato Elementary School, to get to know more about organic agriculture. And maybe by this time, Dr. Ayanga's program is running, I could have her come and talk to the schools. Okay, and then volunteer student guides. Right by there's a high school and there's a technical school. And I think, students can involve students. So I'm just going to train the students and ask them to be the guides for the students. It's kind of like, instead of, me doing everything, they could be part of it. They learn a skill, and it's a community work even. And conduct seminars to teachers. You don't just teach the students, but teachers as well, so they could integrate it to their program, to the EPP. Yeah. Okay, and that's like 20,000 again. I kind of like eyeballed it again. Okay. Next and lastly, a demo farm, factory workers training, because there are a lot of factory workers in uniform in the area. You just talk to the business owners, tell them, maybe on a Saturday afternoon after work, or maybe on a Sunday afternoon, they could come. And conventional, and the farmers in the nearby provinces, and hopefully the UPOU OA learners could come to the farm in the future, because I really felt like going to OJ's farm, Brian's farm, and personally in the farms of my other friends. It's a learning experience more than just looking at my book. So there, it's 20,000 again. So progress report, basically I'm there working on it. So, let's work together, try to exchange more information, try to go to each other's farms, and there. Thank you.
So, mic check. Good job, Jackie.
Thanks.
Good job.
Thanks. Yeah, Jabez is one of my mentors.
Well presented. Nakita mo yung status update ko kagabi
Hindi. What's it at?
about social transformation.
No,
Yeah.
can you say it
I
again?
said there, social transformation takes a lot of work. That's why we work a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Okay, so having seen your presentation, it looks like a lifetime project for me. I think it's going to be your life. No? Are you ready for that? Yeah.
I'll answer you
ready
later.
for that.
I'll answer you later. Okay.
It's going to be a lifetime project, no? So realistically, and very optimistic ako sa gagawin mo. I think you have it all figured out, at least dun sa on paper. But we have to be aware din na one of the problems tayong mga organic farmers, we have this vision, we have this advocacy, we have the plan, okay? We have the energy, but we don't have the people. We don't have the people to work for and with us. So it's usually just us and our family and a couple of friends. So when we do our projects, let's just keep in mind how many people can actually help us in the farm or in farm work mismo. Like running a farm, you need someone to germinate the seeds, magbantay, walang magnanakaw dun sa just to water the plants. Farm operations is talaga physical work. It will mostly involve you then doon. Kasi to manage and monitor the quality of the vegetables, it's another dimension sa organic farming. Kasi etong visioning, it's one thing. It's a good thing na meron tayong perspective like that. At least we are not limited to being just farmers and plant. But sometimes when we go too far sa vision, we forget paano nga ba mag-germinate ng Nalilimutan natin. So I think that's the next step for you, is to go sa nitty-gritty nung planting na. And I think in the future, dadating na yung issues na sa customers natin or sa consumers na bakit ganito yung itsura. then doon na tayo mag-iisip na, okay, we have to sort, we have to grade, we would find better ways to grow this, and you will find yourself, hindi ko kayo tinatakot this is just true. You will find yourself thinking na, how can I improve the quality of my vegetables? And at the same time, how can I impact the community? And at the same time, how can I fulfill my plan? So parang, yeah, I like I told you before, look for partners. Talaga. That's my opinion. For others then, for partners, someone who can help you to fulfill those. That's just one of my honest opinion. I believe you can find naman. Okay, thanks.
Thank you for giving me a heads up on that. And that's one of the things that I really saw that I need. I really need someone to help me with this. So that's why hopefully in the future I could put up like a foundation of some sort. It could be an enterprise. It could also be a foundation, and really get people. And I do want to tap those people who like I'm gonna those people who are just there, and those who need something to do. So, like before, I would ask my family members, come, let's plant trees. And that's actually what we did. We make it a family activity to plant those native trees that we got. And then I realized they have their own lives. So I should, have involve people who may not have lives yet, but those who want to share life together on this. Yeah, so hopefully along the way, I come across with those people and then do this together. And yeah. Yeah.
I like yung slide where yung plan mo nilagay mo ng arrow on both sides, because that's exactly how farming is. Para farming is like going to school every day without a teacher.
Yeah.
So, minsan for example, irrigation schedule, na ibang medyo yung panahon, you have to change your irrigation, the time you irrigate your crops. So, yun lang. It never ends. Learning and farming never ends. Tapos, doon naman when you want to offer educational farm tours already, elementary schools, I think in 2016, in full effect na si K to 12. And part of their curriculum talaga is exposure ng mga students sa mga farms. Siguro you can secure I don't know if it's called accreditation by your local DepEd district, na i-endorse nila your farm sa mga schools na pwedeng destination ng mga classes nila. Also, I think just recently, I think DepEd and Department of Agriculture signed a memorandum of agreement na instead sa malls na pupunta yung schools, they already recommend mga farms yung pupuntahan. So, your plan to put up that farm in Valenzuela is very timely. And I think marami yung makikater niya ng mga communities, not just in Valenzuela, but sa buong Metro Manila. So, congratulations. Ang ganda ng farm mo. Very comprehensive.
Thank you. I mean, we're not there yet, but together we're gonna get there. So.
This will be quick, I hope. What is your background? Your educational background? May I know?
I have a bachelor's in political science and journalism, and then a master's in international communication.
Okay. Interesting.
So kind of like not related.
Yeah, but I will be seeing you metamorphose into those professions, into an organic farmer and eventually an entrepreneur. Because I was telling Brian, it's just like you have taken up new enterprise planning already. Why? Because you're good at scanning your environment. Okay, you were able to look at your own environment, the physical structures there, the human relationships among you, and then you were able to look also because of that. No, you're so keen on observing these things that you are able to look at business opportunities. Okay, and I think these attributes of yours will eventually guide you in implementing eventually what your plans are. One of these attributes that I see in you is your being flexible. Okay, and I think that will be the secret in anyone who's engaging into their future projects. No, You don't have to stick really what your plan is. You really have to be flexible and evolve eventually into depending on the situation and the circumstances. And another thing, I think one of the uh, attributes that all of us must have is being resourceful and then equipping oneself with all the skills that you see are necessary for you to plan and implement the project. And lastly, all of us must always be reminded that organic agriculture is a science. It's an art, but it is also concerns with human relationships. And I think a successful business venture, organic venture, will be uh, will be made through good human relationship, good human relations with the community. That's all.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you. Thank you. These kind of like just evolved actually along the way. Like if you ask me in July, I don't know anything. I don't even have an idea of what I'm gonna do with my life in July. But from July since we started, kind of like evolved and I learned a lot from Professor Ray and Sir Larry and all those, all of you whom I visited. Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. You would be a successful farmer because of there are two things that I've seen. One, your sensitivity to the environment, to your immediate environment. Number two, you are doing a practical research. You interview people, you ask them, you observe. And I think this is the traits of a successful researcher, scientist. So you would be successful. You're very strong. Her plan is very strong on the external mode, the environment. But I think she has expressed, or you have expressed, the need for the structure within the internal mode. So there's a need to organize, to build a core group. As Bernie has said a while ago, you need a core group of women, you need a core group of students to do the initial part of the job. And in the process, I think you would be successful because you would be observing and how they reflect on their job. So good luck, Jackie. So at this point, I think, Larry, could we go to the next presenter? Lisel? Okay.
So, malapit na po magtanghalian, pare-pareho na po tayo nagugutom. Ayan. Yung project ko po ay, action plan ko is OUECG, which stands for Organic Urban Edible Container Garden. Why container gardening? I'm based in Quezon City and we lack the land or the lot to do a community garden. So ang option namin is to do gardening using pots, empty containers, PET bottles, discarded tin cans. So yun yung isa. Why edible? Nabanggit ni Madam kanina na pwede rin kasing ornamental. So masaya na rin kasi yung mga kabarangay ko with ornamentals. Di what more kung nakakain nila yon, di ba? So mas masaya sila, masaya na mata nila, masaya pa siya nila. So yun. Objectives, to have an accessible source of healthy, safe, and nutritious food within the community, and then to have an additional source of income. Problems addressed, malnourishment, poverty, and then target audience niya, selected parents of children who were enrolled in the recently concluded Barangay Santo Cristo Feeding Program. Taga Barangay Santo Cristo po ako sa Quezon City, sa likod po ng SM North EDSA, malapit po sa Trinoma. So makikita niyo po yung lugar namin, puro po siya semento at puro po siya buildings. Bakit po ito yung naisip ko? Sa previous work ko po as a media practitioner, I cover mga feeding programs, CSR projects ng Kapuso Foundation. So yearly yan or every month, meron silang cycle na nag-feeding program. Na-observe ko dun sa mga probinsya, pag may feeding program, inuobliga nila yung mga magulang magkaroon ng pocket garden. Na yun yung magiging source ng pagkain ng family and at the same time, raw ingredients for the feeding program. So hindi na sila bibili. Doon na lang sa mga gardens nila. Obligado yon. Pero sa barangay kasi namin, hindi yun ginawa. So more on dole out lang talaga. So this time, try ko na i-influence naman yung mga BHW na ganun yung i-adapt nila na kultura para sa pagtatanim. Kasi nandun na rin naman yung mga nagtatanim dun sa barangay namin. More on ornamentals nga lang nga. And then, migrants din yung mga nandito mga dayo galing probinsya. At yung iba nakakakwentuhan ko rin, nasasabi nila pag nakikita nila akong nag-chop ng mga ginagamit ko sa compost, FPJ, FFJ, gumagawa rin sila ng ganun doon sa probinsya. So meron na akong, ito yung mga pwedeng itap na magulang. Bakit yung mga magulang sa feeding program? Sila na yung captured audience ko. And then, ililimit ko lang talaga siya into 10 to 20 packs para mas madaling i-monitor pag ni-seminar sila. Yan. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, yung first week of November ko, date of seminar talaga yung expected result ko. Kasi I have consulted with the barangay officials, merong Committee on Health kasi sila may hawak sa feeding program, sa sanitation for the materials recovery facility para maging source ng mga biodegradable na kitchen wastes. Ganun, kasi pinapakain sa nagiging kaning baboy. So yung iba baka pwede kami humingi para sa composting yung mga vegetables. And then may malapit din naman pong palengke sa amin, pwede rin kaming manghingi din po doon ng mga gagamitin. Health workers, magiging katuwang ko po yan to pinpoint kung sino yung mga masigasig na mga nanay na nagpa-participate sa feeding program. Kasi doon pa lang makikita mo na ito interesado, ito merong inisyatibo, ito merong future. Hindi yung uupo lang dyan, dadalhin yung anak, iiwan na, tapos pakakainin ng barangay. Hindi ganon. And then, meron ding meet with the OIC of the Joy of Urban Farming. Sandali, pag nakalimutan ako. Lingid po sa kaalaman po ng nakararami, ang Quezon City po pala ay meron ng proyekto ng organic agriculture. Tinatawag nila itong urban farming. And meron na silang brochure na mula sa paggawa ng compost, FAA, FPJ, FFJ, hanggang sa pagtatanim, hanggang sa paglilipat ng tanim, paggamit ng mga containers, at saka yung organikong pamatay peste, meron na rin sila. And then yung mga sustansyang makukuha doon sa mga itatanim nilang halaman. So meron silang binibigay na libreng training, nagbibigay sila ng libreng seeds, libreng seedlings, at ng lupa. Participants na lang po ang kulang. So doon po papasok yung sa barangay po namin. Second week of November, final list of participants. Through a survey ito and recommendation ng BHW, isa-isahin ko po yung mga yan na yung willingness nila na ituloy yung proyektong yon para hindi siya magiging ningas-hugot. And then, meron ako ditong funding for the seminar kasi merong iba na kailangan mo di bang gumawa ng FFJ, FPJ, you need brown sugar. Ang 40 pesos sa isang sangkahig at isang tuka ay pambili na ng bigas. So, pwedeng humingi na po ng sponsorship through solicitations, via email, Facebook blast, yun. Marami namang nagre-react pagka maganda yung nagiging proyekto mo. At saka ang sikreto po dyan ay ang network, kung marami kang connection. And then, nakapag-set na po ako ng appointment with the Office of the Vice Mayor. Gagawin po namin yung seminar on November 27. Ito pong November 27 na. So, yung seminar po nila, aside from this, meron din silang discussion on climate change adaptation and then the need to produce organic food. Ako as a learner, ang additional topic ko naman would be testimony ng isang container gardener and then suggestions on how to make it an additional source of income through a sharing of ng Good Food Community or nung aking Facebook group na Home Farmers Club. May mga naka-base din kasi sa syudad. And then, once a week, once gumagalaw na siya, once a week, pupuntahan ko yung mga nanay na yon or yung mga magulang na yon na magiging involved sa container gardening. At gagawa rin ako ng parang participative guarantee system through a body system. So nanay to nanay, magbantayan sila kung talagang organic ba yung pamamaraang ginagamit nila. And then, pwede rin siyang maging additional income para sa community or dun sa mga nanay. Kasi sa feeding program, na-observe ko po kasi doon, once naka-graduate ang bata sa feeding program, na-reach na yung target height and weight niya, pagbalik niya sa bahay at natapos yung feeding program, babalik uli siya sa malnourishment. Kasi wala namang maayos na pagkain, ma-provide, and then ganun pa rin naman yung trabaho ng magulang. So kahit pa paano, kung meron na silang garden or meron mga tanim-tanim na dyan, mga talbos-talbos dyan, may papakain na yung magulang nila. Kung may kamote dyan, meron na rin mabubunot sila kahit pa paano. So, yun. Ang na-observe din po kasi, yung project po sa amin yun nga pong The Joy of Urban Farming, nag-launch po sila, ang dami nilang ni-launch na sa mga areas. Kaso nahirapan po sila sa sustainability dahil sa pag nagpalit daw po yung barangay chairman, hindi na natutuloy yung proyekto, or pag nagpalit ng principal sa school, ganun din yung nangyayari. So, ito po yung isa sa naging successful po nila na pilot site, rooftop garden sa Barangay Pinyahan sa Quezon City. So, isang 30 square meter na rooftop, nilagyan nila ng waterproofing yung sahig. And then, yan yung ginagamit nila. Medyo madilim lang po ito. Pero ano po ito? Mineral water container. And then, yun namang isa, discarded can lang po yan ng mantika para sa luya. So, tapos ito, nilagyan na rin nila ng hollow blocks yung gilid, pinuno na rin ng lupa. Yan, pinapagapang na nila dyan. Yung mga community members, dyan na rin kumukuha ng kanilang kinakain. Pagka wala na maiulam, maisahog sa sardinas at sa noodles. So, yun po. Basically, yun po yung aking plan po, action plan. Ayun po. Question po.
There's a bill that's being passed right now. It's the Urban Gardening Bill. So you're timely and there's much support in it. So it's good that you're partner up with the LGU. Very good.
Good job dun. So, just a few suggestions lang na parang if you can tell them how much they can actually grow in a container, yung amount ng produce. Kasi I think for yourself, when you present a project like this, kanyari, they have this space or they have this number of containers, or how much pechay can they actually grow in this, ganyan. Tapos yung program, gaano sila kadalas magsusow. So parang magkakaroon sila ng parang at least some sort of food security. Diba? Kasi parang after this month, you can harvest this na. So while you're harvesting this, you're already sowing this. So, and kumbaga, in your small space, you can actually produce 3 kilos of this. Yung mga ganun. So we need those figures para naman mas maging optimistic sila and mas realistic sa kanila yung what they can actually get from their container garden.
Additional pala, pagka naging successful na rin sila doon, parang i-adapt ko rin yung ginagawa ng Good Food Community na i-collect yung mga naging harvest nila. And then once a week, pwedeng sa school or sa barangay hall, through flyering or mga announcements, papaalam dun sa community na merong available na organic produce locally na doon sa lugar. And then, napansin ko rin kasi dun sa mga nanay, ang pastime nila ay magbingo at magchismisan. So, kung mahirapan sila, kung mahirapan, lagi sabihin nun, mahirap magtanim, mahirap mag-alaga. Sabihin ko lang po sa kanila na hindi naman tumatakbo yung halaman, nandun lang siya sa paso. So habang nabibinggo ka dyan, konting dilig lang, magugulat ka na lang, meron ka ng pipitasin isang araw. So, yun.
Ayun. It's a very nice plan kasi ako din, when I go around, ang parati kong tinatanong dun sa mga parents, yung kano yung kikita nila per day, how much dun sa kinikita nila ang ginagastos nila to buy food. So dahil dun sa project niyan, for example, kahit hindi man pangbenta yung ma-produce nila, at least they can provide for their own families. Tapos yung portion of their budget na usually ginagastos sila para sa food, pwede na lang i-save for something else. So yun. So maganda yung project, magandang nourishment ng mga bata. At tama si JWS, I think, nakita ko kasi dun sa plan. Usually kasi pag basic organic na training, papakita paano gumawa ng FFJ, FPJ, ganyan. Tapos minsan, tapos na yung training, tsaka ako naisip para nasan yung germination, how many days it takes from pag nag-sprout na, pag germinate, how many days it takes before pwede siyang i-transplant. So siguro yung part na yun, I think kung mag-start from zero knowledge itong mga nanay natin, that would be very helpful yung sa crop management side. So, yeah, but overall, good plan. Congratulations.
Magagaling talaga itong mga katabi ko because they are practitioners talaga of organic agriculture and talagang ang inputs nila ay they are treasures in them. I just like to ask, you're a journalist, right? Maganda yung hinook up mo, yung exposure mo sa feeding program into coming up with this urban gardening project. But i-replicate mo lang yung existing program on urban gardening ng Quezon City, right? You are replicating it to the barangay, at the barangay level. How far have you researched on the effectivity of these seminars para yung mga nag-attend ng seminar na yon, may statistics ba kung ilan talaga ang nag-come up or they put up their own urban container gardening? May mga ganun bang?
Ang data nga po nila, mababa po talaga yung
Okay.
dahil po wala pong monitoring na ginagawa.
So,
dun po ako-
along that line, that's why I asked that because before, I think eventually you can come up with more encouraging content of the seminar if you are able to look at the weaknesses and strengths of this program. Because only then will you be able to come up with more creative, with more meaningful, and with more practical plan for the barangays to adopt. Kasi yan ang problema usually. You have identified one. Basta't nagbago na ang barangay captain, tapos na rin yung project. So sana meron ito yung tinatawag na nilang sustainability. So you're a journalist and I think you can use this asset of yours to be able to look at the evaluation or the review of this project when it was started until now. Okay, to come up with your own appropriate and mas enticing na seminar content.
Just a heads up, there's a twice a month organic market at Quezon City Hall already. They have a tied up with Region 2. So that's a market for you guys already. Sa Quezon City Hall, twice, second and fourth weekends of the month. Galing po sa Region 2, Nueva Vizcaya ang gulay po nila. I met the farmers last week po. Hindi, LGU yun. Sa Region 2 po, Vizcaya po galing.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Lizelle. So I think at this point, it's past 12. We have to have something for the stomach. So Larry, Could we have a break? Okay. So we will come back here at. Okay. Would you like to give some announcement?
Bali, we will break for lunch. For those who would like to stay on pa after this, kasi ang kasunod is PED and NEP. Nakain na kasi ng OA yung time for PED. So, for those who would like to stay, you may stay. Pero at this point, we'll break for lunch. Wala po kaming pa-lunch doon. Sa graduation kami magpapa-lunch. So, pwede pong bumalik. Tapos yung team, mag-meet lang kami for over lunch. Tapos we'll be back siguro at around 1 p.m.
Sa PED, so meron akong mga students dito but not all of them will present. They're just here for the bonus points. So, just sign the attendance sheet. Then after nyo mag-present, you can go. But syempre, mag-present muna kayo bago kayo malis. Present muna. Pero yung mga hindi presenters, just watch your classmates. And after that, you can go. Para lang meron tayong picture sa Facebook. Okay. So, okay. After lunch, you come back. Tapos, start na tayo.
NEP, Arlene. Sino pang NEP na dumating? Isa lang, ano? So, we have one presenter today. The rest mga recorded eh. Ayun. So, we have one presenter na physically here.